talk to me about in like how do I make a story emotional? I'm talking if I'm talking about a customer case study, you know,
Hmm.
and I'm in a B2B context. Where's the emotion there? We transacted, they hired us, we did the thing, they got this value. Where's the emotion?
You can let me share one technique with you, how you can add a lot of emotions to your story. One of my favorite techniques to add emotions is called inner dialogue. And that is you share some of the thoughts that are going on in the main characters or your head, in your head. And for example, we have all these fears, worries, hopes, dreams in our heads. For the story, share some of these in the crucial moment of the story. Example, instead of just saying, oh, I'm very excited about delivering that pitch, you say, oh man, this will be the best pitch of my life, right? Everyone will look at this and think that I'm a freaking genius. One example, or let's say you delivered that pitch and it went really bad. Instead of just saying, that was a terrible pitch, you say, and everyone will think now I'm a failure, right? I should move country right now. This, this ain't working out for me. I'm obviously exaggerating a little bit, but you see, you can share some of these thoughts that are going on in our heads. That way, that's the easiest way to make any story more emotional.
Hmm. And then the visual element, if I'm like what I sell, I'm trying to think through the lens of like predictable revenue. We sell like sales development services and like consulting. Like, how do I make that visual? Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's a person. His name is Diego. He's amazing on the telephone.
Yeah.
Imagine picking up that red telephone and dialing for you.
Yeah. Yeah. That's one thing that we got to worry for, right? Well, watch out for, because a lot of people, they change their entire voice. They're like, once upon a time, and was this it? And that's just
Yeah.
completely fake. Let me share again my favorite technique to make any story more visual, especially in a customer context. For you, let's say you work with another customer. What you can then share to make it more visual is the exact words that that person used, maybe in the challenge of the story or at the end. Example, um, 2 weeks later, the customer called you and said, wow, Colin, thank you so much. Because of your consulting, I increased my revenue now by 50%. It's insane. Thank you so much. Right? I use the direct words that that customer used in that specific moment.
Right. Okay. So if I
And
try
that
and
could
put this,
be And that could
I
be
was just,
either at the end,
yeah.
so let's say when the transformation is done, or before in the challenge, so that you talk to the customer and the customer says, "Ah, Colin, I don't know what's going on, but I've tried everything and nothing seems to work out here."
Mhm.
See, so the direct words that we use in that specific moment.
Gotcha. So if I'm just thinking about a case study that I just wrote, or I did the interview last week, and
Mhm.
the comment that stuck out for me, I would probably use it at the end. They were a marketing leader, and they said something along the lines of like, we love having predictable revenue around because we know that even if our like normal inbound has a bad week, we're still going to get like a number of high quality meetings from the predictable revenue team. And they love looking at the reports every Friday. And I
Mhm.
was like, oh, wow, that stuck up for me. Is that kind of an example? So I could like land the story there, or like I would tell their story and then land it with that as like a way of making it more emotional.
Yeah, for sure. Yes. You could use that definitely as a story. What you always want to make sure is when you include this dialogue or the exact words in that moment, that you use very specific and catchy words. If you say, the customer said da, 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 all these different things, well, it's not that memorable. But if that customer says, wow, hey, Colin, we have this major problem that we haven't been able to solve. Oh,
Hmm.
can you stop there? Well, then it's becoming very memorable. So on dialogue, you want to use very catchy short words to make it more visual.